r/ask Reddit. How did you find out your SO was cheating on you? My wife tried calling and didn't hang up once it went to voicemail. She accidentally left a 245 VM. The VM consisted of her and her BF talking shit about me and how much happier she was with him. At the time I was home with our kids and I thought she was 800 miles away to be with her dying father. 2 years later we are divorced and her father is still alive. Something similar happened with a girl I was dating. I had just started dating her and she already had a trip to Vegas planned with her girlfriends. She left me a Buckdale voicemail at around 2 AM of her banging a guy. Turns out it was the guy she was dating. I was the other guy. Since I had just started dating her, I didn't really care and just used her for sex. After a couple months she said I was an a-hole because I never stopped dating other people. I never hid it from her, and that she was such a sweet girl and was only dating me. It was pretty funny to see her face when I played the voicemail. This story makes me feel much better. At least both of you are kinda a-holes so no one really got ducked over. Okay, look, I know you've been cheating on me. I haven't been it's okay. It's okay. I've been cheating on you too. The duck? Been 12 years and it's still got me good. What the duck? Psychological projection at its finest. She sent me a picture of herself in the bath, then sent me a message afterwards saying oops, wrong person. She was special kind of stupid tbh. This is advanced stupidity. I drove 2 hours to surprise him at college on a long weekend and straight up found him in bed with the girl he specifically told me not to worry about. Duck you Ashley and your stupidly nice Latina ass edit. Thanks for the lovely inboxes. No, I'm not still with him. That relationship ended over a year ago. No, I don't have pictures of Ashley's ass. No, I don't have pictures of Ashley's ass. Cry in shame. We will feel this for eons, as this was a great loss. Edit. Why did this get upvoted so much? My first clue was when I walked into the house and saw her drug dealer jacking off in our kitchen while she watched, topless. What was the second clue? When he brushed by her, stunned me and said, we didn't do anything, but we were gonna. She needed a new phone so I put it in my name since I was working. 2 hours after leaving the store and having lunch with me joking about how excited she was to get married, I found a photoreel full of pictures she had been exchanging with her ex whilst transferring her stuff to her new phone. I put 2 and 2 together and opened her text inbox and surprise, she had been texting him for months and ducking him for a few weeks. Nice bullet dodge, Neo. Makes you wonder how psycho some people are, to not only do that behind your back and still live with themselves, but then to have the audacity to say things such as how much he is excited to get married to you. WTF. Someone sent me a video footage of my ex with someone I did not need to worry about. Shit leaves you devastated. As soon as the words "you don't need to worry about them" come out of their mouth, my brain's alarm bells go ringing. I wasn't going to worry until you brought up the idea that I might have a reason to worry. Her boyfriend got tired of being the other guy and he, rudely, told me everything I needed to know. Same happened to me, but in my case he forwarded me emails where they exchanged nudes, found out I was being cheated on, and had to see that dong's dong. That was his real goal. He wanted to show you his dong. She pulled out her phone to take a video at my son's birthday celebration and there was a text on the phone saying "I love you too. Duck Jess." Edit. For those asking, I knew the dude and was aware of it being his contact. I'm not telling the entire story here, but I knew. Suck my dong Jess. Get her drunk and she probably would. I counted the pictures. This was in 2000. Before everyone had a camera on their phone and you had to get your holiday snaps developed at the Walgreens photo lab. She brought home the pictures of her vacation to see her old high school friend in Vegas. But there was something missing. See, back in the day the rolls of film were made up of exposures of 12, 24, 36 pics, etc. Depending on the film you bought. I went through the photos and it didn't add up. Literally, the 24 exposure roll only had 18 pics. Eventually I found the remaining photos. Her and the new boyfriend looking happy. I hope you became cop after that, because that's some detective skills. I'm ashamed to say it would have passed right over me without seeing anything. Sometimes in a roll you would only get back 80% of the pictures as some would be overexposed or damaged. Left her Facebook logged in on my phone and I woke up to a lot of messages from the guy. It was supposed to be a trip to see her family. This was 3 days ago. Edit. Thanks everyone for the kind wishes. I should clarify, this is my wife, and we've been married for less than a year. The upside is we have separate property, and nothing joined. I have taken this as a learning experience. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. But I guess you could say I've grown up a lot from this. There was a quote another user showed me that really stuck out to me. Red flags look normal when you're wearing rose-colored glasses. There was a lot of sketchy things going on, and because of this, I was sure I had to leave for my own mental health, as well as because I can't trust her. But, to anyone else going through this, stay strong. It gets better. I'm in a new town with literally zero friends here, and I'm still finding a way to move on. One step, one day at a time. Feel free to message me, anyone, if you want to talk, not just about this but about anything. Life can feel very lonely, especially when people have chosen sides on this. Stay strong all. I believe in you. Edit. I'm slowly working through my inbox, because I really do want a chance to say hi to everyone that messaged me. So, also, thank you for messaging me. It really does make things seem less lonely, and I appreciate every one of you. AWH man, I hope you're okay lad. Really wouldn't wish this upon anyone. Send that beach the screenshots and tell her to not even bother coming back. My co-worker told me he saw her being carried to her car at 4 AM by another co-worker of mine. She left this part of the story out when she stumbled home drunk that night. Confronted her. She confessed they made out. Fast forward to present day and I'm still trying to recover from what she did to me. After this kiss she kept going with him and eventually ducked him twice. She told me both times. I literally had to walk into my apartment one day to find her in bed with him. I quit my job. We all worked together. And we broke up finally. That was 3 months ago. I'm still ducked up. She was my best friend and all of a sudden set out to destroy me. Far out. Man, that last sentence really hit home. You and I, buddy, will get through this. It's rough. They want to make you out to be the bad guy to everyone around you so that their infidelity doesn't seem so bad. If it makes you feel any worse, my ex succeeded in this crusade of hers. In the long run though, she's ended up raising 2 kids that aren't hers, been divorced and remarried the same guy, and still works for Applebee's. Not that there's anything wrong with that. She just always talked shit on it. I ended up with an amazing woman and have been fairly drama free since moving away from her bullshit. It gets better. My super genius ex-wife beached about the cost of our joint cell phone bill. She told me I'm using it too much. I never used it except to call her phone, which was free. So I looked over the bill and found the number to the dude she was cheating with. Shsadumbus. LOL, that's hilariously stupid. I message linked to her computer. I was on her computer buying stuff off Amazon and she was sitting on the couch, feet from me, texting her ex. He was trying to get her to send him nudes and they were reminiscing about previous encounters. He was bragging about how he made her leg shake all the while I was watching the conversation in real time, right next to her. My adrenaline kicked in and I simply closed the computer and left the house without saying a word. This was over a year ago and I'm still fighting her for custody of our children. Good move to keep your cool in that situation. Hopefully things work out in your favor with the custody. Man, she's a ducking idiot. Her best friend called me and told me, so I did the only logical thing and ducked her too. It would be really bad to find out that the best friend was only lying to get laid. It would make a good movie. Asked me to fix something on her iPad. Emails with airfare confirmations to see her ex-boyfriend on the other side of the country popped up. Got a Facebook message from some lady telling me that my fiancé was a homewrecker. Apparently my ex was sleeping with this woman's husband, and she was divorcing her husband because of it. Fortunately this happened the weekend before our wedding, so I dodged a bullet. I don't get why so many people cheat on the people they are about to marry. Why not leave before you get married? Guess you definitely dodged a bullet though at least. She ducking told me. I would rather find out this way. My wife cheated on me and flat out told me there was someone else. I always ask of anyone I am seeing to be honest no matter how much it hurts. I am glad she told me. I would have hated to find out another way. We split up because that is something I will never forgive. Her and I have a beautiful daughter that is now 11 and our daughter is our priority. We have both moved on but her being honest made it easier to move on. That's the best way of hearing it, right? I used to say I've never been cheated on. Now I say I've never been cheated on, to my knowledge. I used to say I've never been cheated on to my knowledge. I found more knowledge. I walked into the living room to find her passed out drunk on the couch with her phone in her hand. On the screen was the other guy, shirtless and in bed. Skype. I told her to leave. She left 2 days later. Told me she was going to her mom's. She didn't go to her mom's. Funny part is, we had been together for 8 years. She never worked a day and I didn't mind. I had enough for both of us. My credit sucks so all of our assets were in her name. I stopped paying for her car, her insurance and her ducking house. Let's see that ducking weenie you left me for. Do that by selling ink cartridges. Beach. She was ducking another guy on a campsite that I happened to be on for research purposes. I'm sorry, I feel horrible for you, but I can't help but laugh after the last part. Wow, ducking another guy on a campsite. That's disgusting. Do you know which campsite? There are so many of them. Which one? I saw the guy. She told me not to worry about change his relationship status. Asked her about it and she became a nervous wreck and told me last week was quite ducking something. Damn. Sorry man, be strong. Be like me and work out. Since then, I'm still a wreck but I'm like over 20 pounds lighter. Ultimately didn't find out until after the divorce, but a very close friend of hers confided to me. I still haven't mentioned anything to anyone, even her. Just decided to finally move on. Best course of action emo. Bringing it up with her will get you nothing, only more grief. She tried to silence her phone when I called, but I guess she accepted it instead. I heard her banging a dude loudly over the phone. OMG sickening : just kept being a good boyfriend until she felt guilty and told me. I never suspected it. At least she had some conscience because she could have had her cake and ate it too. Could have strung me along for years and I would have been none the wiser. I loved her. I thought she was the woman I could spend the rest of my life with. Took me 4 years of being single before I was able to trust anyone after that. I was so oblivious the last time that after it happened, I hugely overcompensated, questioning every odd plan made and etc. I am kind of glad in a way that I waited 4 years, because it taught me that being okay with being alone or single is incredibly valuable. And I've noticed more and more people since then that can't be alone. I used to be a guy that would let girls walk all over me just to keep peace. Happy wife, happy lifestyle. But now, while I still compromise and give freely, I don't take bullshit from anyone because I'm not afraid to be by myself. Saw her being all flirty and mushy with a new guy at work. Whenever I would confront her about it, she would usually give me the "that's just how I am." Eventually got a sneak peek into her texts and saw her sending him sexts. This was about 4 months ago but still hurts as hell. Duck out of here with that "that's just how I am" bullshit line. A skank is how you are. Sorry brother. I absolutely despise people who treat their partner like shit after cheating on them and breaking up. Like holy duck. They literally ruined the relationship and after that they're gonna act like a dong? Duck off. I came home one day and my husband's work phone was going crazy. He had taken my son snowboarding and they weren't going to be home for a while. I was trying to turn it off and found dozens of messages between him and another woman. He met her while he was working in China. He'd even offered to move her to the US and have her take my place. I confronted him and he swore he'd end it. Well, he ended it with her and moved on with a lady in Israel where he was working. Found out about that one when I found photos of them on a trip to Egypt that he said he took alone. And I found out about the third girlfriend when I found naked pictures of her on his tablet and phone. Finally left after that. I knew he'd never change and I don't think he ever truly loved me. Found them in bed together. Fairly typical, if such a thing exists. Thing that angers me the most is that I seriously had absolutely not the faintest idea. Not even a smidgen of suspicion. And what angers me even more is how it changed me. The insecurity, the paranoia. He said he didn't have a Facebook account, but one day I saw that he had the app on his phone, so I searched him up, and a little stalking later found out his name wasn't Sam. That was the dog's name. He had a wife, and the family vacation he had gone on a few months back was actually his ducking wedding. He was definitely the side chick. The confrontation was unpleasant. We'd been together for almost 2 years, and looking back from where I am now I realize he'd always been a manipulative, abusive dog, but I didn't want to see it for what it was. I eventually left him, but some days I'm not sure I'm over him. That relationship broke me. Did you tell his wife? After she left her laptop because she took the car. One day, I was bored. I used some app to decrypt Skype message history. For the last 6 months or so of our relationship, she made plans to move with her next boyfriend. Love words, pictures, projects, a 2-year-long flirt. Everything was there. What they'd done when they met for week-long work conference. She helped him choose their future apartment. She even moved to the other side of the earth, choosing a bad postdoctorate just to be with him. Lines after lines of betrayal, hours of reading material. This is the first half of a really good r/pro revenge plot. I've had some petty revenge at that time, little things, but finding this out was liberating in itself. The last years of our 11 years relationship had been exhausting for me. I felt relieved, in a way, to find proof that she was a really bad person. It was not in my head after all, and there was no need for a big revenge. She threw her career out of the windows, refusing a prestigious postdoc in the US to go to a crappy postdoc in South America. I heard from some of her friends that things had gone south with her new boyfriend pretty quickly. Karma? Maybe. My brother told me she asked to see his dong, so he actually ducking showed her. Easiest breakup I ever experienced. Brother got a light beat down by our dad, which helped. Teenager at the time. Dated for 2 years until one day, out of the blue, she says she's not happy anymore and breaks up with me. It sucked, but I figured it was for the best if she wasn't happy. About a week after we had broken up, I saw her at the bar with some guy who she sheepishly admitted she was on a date with. Later that night I end up standing next to him ordering drinks. He apologized to me for the awkwardness. Yeah, it's just weird since we've only been broken up for a few days and she's already dating. He pauses. A few days? She and I have been seeing each other for like 3 months now. We stared at each other for a second, and then my ex comes running up to pull him away from me. He shrugged her off and told her to go duck herself and then left the bar. That's how I found out my ex had been cheating on me for 3 months before apparently guilt took hold and she broke up with me. Update. I bumped into the other guy a few months later at a bar and we actually talked about it. It was weird hearing about it from his perspective. In his mind he had thought she was just really flaky, but after speaking to me it just all clicked for him. And we went through some of the times when he couldn't reach her because she was with me and vice versa. Not sure how I didn't pick up on it. Either way, I'm happily married now and I think she had to move home and live with her mom. Whoa. You made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.